Before we begin with What If Order 66 Never Happened Part 2, I want to apologize for the lack of the What If Star Wars Explained series. I am going to bring it back and make much more installments, and I really want to thank all of you for being so incredibly understanding and beyond patient. So without further delay, let's begin with What If Order 66 Never Happened Part 2 Star Wars Explained. Before proceeding, I suggest you go watch Part 1 if you are not yet caught up. Link is in the description. 17 years have passed, and the galaxy is in a much different, yet eerily similar place as before. The Jedi are still in force, but are undergoing public scrutiny due to what some perceive as a failed assassination attempt on Chancellor Palpatine's life. Because of this, the Jedi Order have decided to evacuate Coruscant and abandon the temple due to rising suspicion against the Jedi on behalf of regular civilians and some senators. Jedi lives have also been lost because of distrust people around the galaxy have found for them, with Jedi assassinations becoming sadly more commonplace and in some circles supported. Though no longer present on Coruscant, Palpatine from an undisclosed location has been broadcasting to the galaxy, twisting his lies and manipulating less strong-willed individuals to follow him, stating that the Jedi have now become an enemy to the Republic and that they attempted to take his life and conduct mutiny against the Senate years prior. While this is happening, Lord Vader of the Sith, now more powerful than ever, has been conducting a much more secret war against the Jedi, becoming almost like an assassin and shadow, with him successfully executing most Jedi unlucky enough to fall into his path, and paving the way for yet another rise for the Sith. Vader has also taken the time to train his daughter Leia in the ways of the Sith, and as a secret weapon for later use. The clone troopers have also found struggle among their ranks, with the majority feeling loyalty to the Republic and Chancellor and abandoning the Jedi outright to aid Palpatine, and unknowingly, the Sith, while the rest have remained loyal and assisted the Jedi in the evacuation of Coruscant and followed them across the galaxy. Unfortunately, brother and brother have come into conflict and war with one another, as in the years gone by, the galaxy has been thrown into the largest scale civil war it has ever seen. Palpatine and Vader also commissioned a new, more advanced droid army to accompany the clones, now known as stormtroopers, under their command. But hope is not completely lost. Across the galaxy, a young student and his master have trained for many years, finding peace and serenity in the Force, while preparing to aid the Jedi in the war for the galaxy. After nearly 2 decades of training, Obi-Wan deems Luke Skywalker a Jedi Knight, and the two depart from hiding to rendezvous with the Jedi Order on a planet rumored to have the first Jedi Temple on it, called Ahch-To. The two Jedi arrive on the planet and meet with Grandmaster Yoda to discuss the status of the war and role Luke will play in restoring balance to the Force. On the planet, Yoda informs Luke that although Palpatine has swayed many, others have come to the aid of the Jedi and are prepared to fight for the light. Yoda then reveals to Luke a group of soldiers he refers to as the Rebel Alliance, ready to go to war to extinguish the hidden Sith Empire. On a Star Destroyer light years away, a girl meditates when suddenly a hidden flash of crimson illuminates behind her. She quickly jumps to her feet just in time to meet the staggering blow of a masked figure with a red blade of her own. The two then exchange several strikes as the girl quickly dances around the room, but the masked figure deflects each potentially fatal attack of the girl with ease. The figure then seizes the girl with the Force, pushing her to the ground, ripping her blade from her palm. "You have learned much, young one, but you are not a Sith yet," says the figure, who then removes the mask, revealing the cold face of Darth Vader. "Yes, father," the girl replies. "Give me a report of the mission," Vader barks, as Leia slowly stands to her feet and says, "The Jedi scum met honorable, yet swift ends." "Good, the Emperor is most pleased," remarks Vader. Now looking back with a glare, he exclaims, "Continue your meditation. You have much to prepare for." We then go back to Ahch-To, where the Jedi, loyal clones, and Rebel Alliance all have met to discuss a new development in the war. Yoda stands above all, saying he has discovered the location of Palpatine through much sacrifice and death, and that an attack on his location would need to be conducted swiftly before he moves. Yoda would also relay that only 2 would be allowed to go in order to guard against the Emperor potentially sensing anyone's presence. Yoda then points to Luke, telling the group that he and the boy alone will venture into the darkness and confront the Dark Lord of the Sith, Palpatine. Luke bows his head in agreement and respect for the Grand Master. The two then depart Ahch-To in hopes of ending the war and defeating Darth Sidious once and for all. The Jedi venture to the planet of Dathomir, where Yoda received information the Emperor frequently visits to revel in his past triumphs. The two Jedi then enter what Yoda explains to be the ruins of what was formerly home to the Night Sisters and powerful dark side magic. Suddenly, among the darkness, a robed figure emerges. "Come to defeat you and bring balance we have," Yoda exclaims. "The way of the Sith will be no more after today." "How wrong you are, Grand Master," a familiar voice echoes from under the hood, but not the voice of Palpatine. "I have trained a long time, and you are soon to be one of my greatest triumphs." The figure removes the hood, revealing Vader. "Where is your master, fallen apprentice?" Yoda remarks. "Palpatine was murdered years ago. I killed him and took his place as Lord of the Sith." Vader then begins to smile. "And now I will eliminate you as I did him." Vader lunges forward as Luke and Yoda activate their sabers. The three create a flurry of movement with their clashes as the very ground beneath them shakes every time they make impact. Grandmaster Yoda has slowed somewhat in his old age, but Luke is there to compensate for the days gone by. Vader, however, pulls through and violently force pushes Yoda into a wall as he raises his blade for a killing strike. As the Lord of the Sith swings down at the Grand Master, his blade is met by Luke's. In shock by the strength of the boy, Vader pulls back and asks the question, "Who are you?" To which Luke replies, "I am a Jedi." The two then engage yet again, with Vader actively attempting to kill the boy, but also somewhat testing the extent of his powers. When the Sith Lord has seen enough, he commences a blade lock with Luke, then using his superior strength and experience disarms him, flinging his blade from his hand. Out of nowhere though, Vader is thrown across the room, tumbling onto the floor. Luke then looks over to see Master Yoda with his arm outstretched. A mere second later though, Yoda's entire body is shocked with torrents of force lightning, even Yoda has not witnessed before. In retaliation, Vader began shocking Yoda with his free arm, as he stood with the use of the other. Through the pain, Yoda tells Luke to leave this place and prepare the Jedi for the wars to come. Yoda then reaches out with the Force and the entire structure begins to shake, with pieces of debris toppling all around Vader. "Run!" Yoda yells out one more time as an obedient Luke exits the now destroyed former home of the Night Sisters and final resting place of Master Yoda. Back on Coruscant, Leia roams the Senate halls, unseen by those around her. Leia is pleased with her progression and is now utilizing her cloaking abilities gifted to her by her studies in the dark side. Leia, however, does not have much time and exits the Senate building and enters a ship waiting nearby. Inside, she is met with a group of stormtroopers. "Everything set?" one asks. "Yes," Leia responds. "Everything went marvelously." As the ship takes off, then enters the orbit of Coruscant, a huge blast is heard, and the troops and Leia have barely enough time to view the smoke rising through the clouds above the building that formerly housed the Senate. Anyway, there was part 2. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you again for being so patient with me. Please do not hesitate to suggest any other What If Star Wars Explained videos, and may the Force be with you.